Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Death Forest. The silver-white light shines extremely bright here. Wow, those asterisk mutant giant trees, under the ray of light, their bodies clashed and swayed wildly. Even some giant trees are entwined with each other, as if the rhythm of a big battle. And what released this silver-white light was the spirit orb obtained from the depths of the submarine gully. Lost on the island. Zizi. Yibei's body moved down from the huge stone statue. His eyes widened slowly. Triangles, eyes, spirit beads. Chi-Chi. There was a scarlet letter in his mouth, muttering. When I was on the bottom of the sea, when I first discovered the triangular eyes, the spirit beads filled them with energy, and then strange things happened. After thinking of this, Yibei had a bright and cheerful feeling. What is the zombie doing? Nothing. When can the ruins be opened? It seems to be thinking about something. It's been too long. The method must be wrong. The lost tribe knelt on one knee, and after seeing Yibei's body stop and entrenched near the stone statue, they muttered quietly. Okay. However, when these voices just appeared, the next moment, their eyes widened. Chi. Because they clearly saw that in front of Yibei. The space suddenly twisted like a vortex, and then a large number of silver-white beads flew out of that twisted space. Such a scene is really shocking. It completely subverted their imagination. God, miracle. This is a miracle. God, please bless our people. God. In the next second, these lost tribesmen didn't dare to make any comments at all. Their heads slammed on the ground frantically, and they kept shouting in their mouths. That pious belief had simply penetrated their bones. Whoosh whoosh. The spirit beads flew out one by one. Although the lost island is now in daylight, the light seems to have overshadowed the sunlight, shining everything white. Even the mutant beasts on the islands looking for suitable breeding nests all stopped after seeing this white light. Their eyes narrowed, and they didn't dare to open them. Moreover, it was the first time Yibei had seen such a strong light from the Lingzhu. Eyes Lingzhu. The way to use the key, is it? Yibei also squinted. The intense silver-white light pierced his eyes a little bit, but at this moment, there was nothing but excitement in his heart. The abnormality of the spirit beads just happened to prove that this was the key to the civilization of the beast god. Immediately after, Yibei directly controlled the direction of Lingzhu with powerful mental power. A total of 9 spirit orbs flew out of the death forest. In the end, every spiritual orb, under Yibei's control, fell on the lifelike eyes directly above the stone statue with extremely precision. Wow. Booming. When the Lingzhu settled down, the dazzling white light suddenly disappeared. Then, before Yibei exhausted all his energy, he couldn't move the 9 huge stone statues. At first, they shook, and then they all started to move. The entire lost island was shaking violently at this moment, as if an earthquake had occurred. Those ordinary beasts, hiding in the lair, trembled so much. The mutant beasts immediately gave up looking for nests for reproduction and quickly rushed towards the edge of the island. They knew that only the empty beach near the beach was safe. As for the lost tribes, after feeling this kind of earthquake, not only did they have no fear, but in their eyes, they were all excited, banging, their heads kept on the ground, and the voices in their mouths continued. The stone statue has moved. Sure enough, the beast is back. God, beast god. It's really a beast god, and the ruins will be opened soon. Thousands of years, we have finally waited. Our people are bound to rise. The voice is hoarse, and it keeps coming out of these human mouths. Especially D. His eyes were full of enthusiasm. When he looked at Yibei, he completely regarded him as a god. Zizi. The stone statue moved. Yibei's huge body retreated happily. At the same time, the letter in the mouth kept spitting out, and the heart was also extremely excited. There is no error in my own judgment. The civilization of the beast gods is really integrated with the lost civilization of the underwater world. However, since this is a relic, There must be more secrets hidden. The harvest this time may be to unlock that civilization. The point is, booming. The 9 different stone statues are still in constant flux. The energy released from the spirit orb made these stone statues seem to be alive. Without any external force, they were able to move freely and finally arranged into a strange triangular pattern. When the pattern is formed, booming, there was another bang. Click, click. Immediately afterwards, Yibei could see clearly that the mountain of over 100 meters inhabited by the lost tribes had a hole in the middle, which clicked and creaked. And with the passage of time, the opening got bigger and bigger. A big mountain was directly separated into 2, with an invisible gate in between. The entrance to the ruins is in the cave where we live. Thousands of years. We have lived here for thousands of years and never found out. Incredible. Great to be able to see this scene. Even if you die, there is no regret. The lost tribe didn't feel any sadness after seeing the cave where they lived. On the contrary, the expectation in their eyes became more. Their eyes widened, and they stared at the torn crack. Whew! The mountain was torn in half. Yibei's huge body occupies here. When it is torn apart, Yibei can clearly feel that from the gap, there is a constant whistling wind. It was very cold, with a kind of chill, but fortunately, Yibei's body could easily resist it. 1 minute. 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, the shaking of the island stopped. All the stone statues also stopped moving, and the 100-meter-long mountain was divided into 2 halves from the middle, and a passage more than 10 meters wide appeared. Yibei's body was entrenched in the middle of the passage. His eyes widened, facing the gap. He could see the situation inside clearly. Is this the remains of the civilization of the beast gods? What is the connection with the lost civilization in the underwater world? Whew! Yibei took a big breath. Chi. The letter from his mouth kept spitting out. After the ruins were opened, the scene in front of him deeply shocked Yibei. The mountain tore. Through the 10-meter-wide gap, what appeared in Yibei's sight was a pale pink magical light curtain. Chi. Above the light curtain, there are some ripples flowing from time to time. It's like a water curtain. It's amazing, completely beyond logic and cognition. If he hadn't become a boa constrictor, Yibei would still be in the city. When he was the boss of a company, he would not know this secret and see these magical things until the day he died. Moreover, this light curtain is still translucent. The spiritual power field cannot penetrate into. However, the pure naked eye can vaguely see the situation inside. It was a black, huge creature. There was no movement, as if it were still, but just a simple outline gave Yibei a feeling of palpitations. Could it be? After looking at the situation like this, Yibei took a deep breath, as if suddenly thinking of something. All the same triangles, all the same demon eyes. The lost civilization hidden in the sea. Is it together with the animal civilization? Yes, this is what Yibei thought of. A high-tech civilization created by animal gods. Not only has it exerted its utmost in individual strength, it has also far surpassed human beings in technology. If this is the case, it is absolutely shocking. You are all guarding here. Without my order, no one or any creature is allowed to enter without authorization. Chi. When thinking of this, Yibei spit out the letter, coldly ordered. Yes. Zombie. Yes. Unless they step on our bodies. Yes. The lost clansmen answered one after another, each with an extremely firm expression, swearing to the death to give everything to Yibei. Zizi. Yibei's huge body slowly moved at this moment, and when it moved, it made a sizzling sound. His eyes gathered on the magical flowing light curtain and slowly passed inside. 10 meters. 5 meters. Okay. When he reached the front of the light curtain, Yibei first touched the light curtain with the part of his tail. Suddenly, there were waves of ripples on the light curtain. Without any pain, Yibei felt a chill in his tail at the moment he touched it. After confirming that it is safe. Puff. Next, Yibei didn't hesitate at all, and his entire body entered the light curtain with a puff. In the next moment, A whole new world unfolded directly in front of Yi-Bei's eyes. Here is the ruins? Looking at the scenery in front of him, Yi-Bei took a deep breath, and the scarlet letter continued to spit out. The warm sunshine, I don't know where it came from. On the ground, some half-meter-long grass grows very soft, like silk. This is an extremely empty place. On the grass, there are huge stone statues everywhere, just like the stone statues outside, very strange. 1. 20 seats. 124 seats. After entering the ruins, the domain's abilities can be used again. Soon, Yi-Bei discovered that there were 124 statues here, and what shocked Yi-Bei most was that these statues did not have anyone as the same. Each one represents a different combination of animals and humans. System, what is going on with these statues? Why do I always feel they are so weird? Yi-Bei stopped at the entrance. His body did not move. Remains from an ancient civilization. However, I don't know exactly what is going on, but it's certain that there is no danger here. Since the host can open the ruins, it's a chance, so don't worry at all. Those civilizations left this kind of thing just to leave the wisdom life of future generations. The system sounds leisurely. It seemed that he didn't care at all about the ruins. And the tone of this answer made Yi-Bei more and more questionable. System. He must know many things, but he concealed many important things. That's good. I'll go and see. Now that the system said it was not dangerous, Yi-Bei was also relieved. The huge body began to move in this ruin. Zizi. The body rubbed against the lawn on the ground, making a sizzling sound. However, after rubbing, Yi-Bei was soon shocked to discover his huge body did not leave any traces on the lawn of this ruin. 1 minute. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Yi-Bei watched the ruins for more than 10 minutes. Except for the statue, it was still a statue. Does it require spirit beads to open these statues? According to the previous situation, these statues should be the keys to unlock certain key. When there was no harvest, Yi-Bei's heart suddenly had such an idea. Fortunately, I got a lot of spirit orbs deep in the sea. There were only 124 statues at the scene, and the number of spirit orbs needed was only 124 at most. Yi-Bei could fully afford it. After thinking of this, Yi-Bei didn't hesitate at all. Consciousness and Death Forest. Communication. Chi-Chi. Immediately afterward, Yi-Bei immediately appeared in a distorted space. Many spirit beads emitting silver-white light flew out of this distorted space automatically. What? But the following situation amazed Yi-Bei. After this spirit orb flew out, he didn't need Yi-Bei's control at all. Each spirit orb seemed to have life automatically, and each began to look for different huge stone statues, and then steadily stopped on the stone statues. 1, 2, 10. 124. Soon, when 124 spirit orbs appeared, covering all the stone statues, an extremely dazzling light was released in the entire ruins at the same time. An aura far beyond Yi-Bei's cognition suddenly appeared from the void. Rumble. This is not the earth shaking, but the air shaking, making a rumbling sound. Is coming. Yi-Bei squinted his eyes and told him intuitively that something big must happen next. Chi-Chi. The scarlet letter from his mouth spit out, watching patiently. Finally, 5 seconds later, in the sky of this ruin, a huge illusory image appeared without warning, and accompanied by this image, there was an extremely thick sound. Welcome back, my child. I am a beast god. Deep, hoarse, and unprecedented pressure. What is this? Beast god? Yi-Bei's eyes suddenly widened at this moment. Lost Island, in the remains of the beast god. 124 huge stone statues of different types. When the energy of the spirit orb was injected into them, all of the statues' devil's eyes burst out with a ray of light. A full 124. When these rays of light converge together, it becomes a super large beast god. Welcome back, my child. I am a beast god. A deep, hoarse voice came from inside. While Yi-Bei was shocked, he secretly exclaimed in his heart, high-tech. This situation is definitely high-tech. If it's not wrong, These 124 stone statues are equivalent to a projector, showing videos from hundreds of millions of years ago. And the huge beast god in front of him is a creature from that mysterious civilization. Call. At this moment, Yi-Bei took a deep breath. The universal language of biology allows him to listen to and see sounds and pictures from hundreds of millions of years ago, spanning countless centuries. To be honest, such a scene is absolutely shocking. In front of him, this so-called beast had a huge body. And it's a real beast. But in terms of species, Yi-Bei has never seen it. His head looks like a lion, but it has a pair of teeth. The limbs are replaced by 4 hands. The fingers and phalanx are very distinct. This huge creature was still sitting on a leather chair and talking to Yi-Bei. High wisdom. High tech. With 4 arms, it can precisely control some instruments. In addition, based on the tone of his speech and the steady gaze, it is enough to see that this creature, no matter what it is far beyond the current human being. Unfortunately, it's just a video. I don't know what can be left behind. Yi-Bei tried his best to suppress the shock in his heart, and the voice of the intelligent life of the ancient civilization in front of him continued, as if everything was under control. I know, civilization will never completely disappear. As you can see, I call myself a beast god, because our civilization is the beast civilization. Our evolutionary prototype is the most ordinary beast. With wisdom, we have developed technology, established order, and even established an unprecedented metropolis in this world. With the development of technology, our civilization has even stepped out of the solar system to find other fertile land for life in more distant star regions. The beast continued. Okay. Hearing this, Yi-Bei slowly opened his eyes. The predecessor of the civilization of beast gods was ordinary beasts. After possessing technology, a city was established and the solar system was sold. This information is really huge. We must know that it is still difficult for human beings to even land on the moon, and even their footsteps are still limited to the earth. Then, what will this beast god say next? Yi-Bei is looking forward to it. Prosperity and decline. This is an eternal truth. Any civilization, once it reaches a bottleneck, it will be subjected to unprecedented pressure and even devastating. Our civilization has encountered this kind of difficulty. In order to create wormholes that can cross galaxies, we are trying to borrow the energy of the sun. Crazy scientists have invented black hole technology, using dark matter to store the huge energy in the sun. Unfortunately, the use of this matter is simply immature. So, the sun was angry. A huge solar storm swept through our civilization without warning and destroyed everything. Only a small number of people who foresee the coming of the storm led everyone and hid in the bottom of the sea. In the deepest part, establish a new order and avoid the sun and storm. The voice is deep, but the tone is full of vicissitudes. After Yi-Bei heard this, his eyes became quiet. In the deepest part of the sea, establish order and avoid solar storms. In this way, the huge complex of buildings that I encountered in the ravine deep in the sea really came from the civilization of the beast god. After getting such a result, Yi-Bei had an idea about the whole thing. General understanding. There was a saying in this beast god that made Yi-Bei very human. In the civilization of beast gods, the beasts with wisdom come in from ordinary beasts. It's like human beings evolved through apes. It's just that after the evolution of many humans, they completely forgot their most primitive races and even unwilling to admit these facts. The civilization of beast gods is different. They carved the appearance of their ancestor into huge statues to record everything. In short, our civilization has completely collapsed. All the beast gods know that we are not far from the day when they all disappear. But the information and technology of our civilization, if they are lost in the years, that would be the greatest loss of intelligent life. So at the last moment, after negotiation, our civilization is ready to exhaust all strength and form an ultimate mission. In the light curtain, when the voice of the beast god said here, it smelled of loneliness. But in his eyes, there was a bit of expectation. After hearing this, Yi-Bei was very clear, and the real point came. Sure enough, This beast god immediately said, "We have divided all civilization relics technology into 2 storage devices and opened up 50% of the data. That is, as long as we achieve agreement, this 50% of the information, our beast god civilization, will be given to you for free, and what you have to do is very simple. When there is intelligent life in this place again, in the gene in terms of resurrection, there must be a breakthrough. It is only necessary to resurrect all the 133-foot beast gods of our race, and all the remaining 50% of the information will be yours. This is the promise." Wow. The voice fell, and the huge beast god image stared at eBay. Use technology in exchange for the opportunity to resurrect ancient intelligent life? This is really sad. However, eBay's current IQ would not be so easy to fool. The civilization of the beast gods holds 100% of the technology. After they are resurrected, if they borrow another 50% of the technology, they can completely control the entire Earth again. The first 50% was just bait. To put it simply, this beast god said so much, it's just a honey jar with honey on the outside and highly poisonous inside. Yes or not? eBay thought deeply at this moment. In order to continue to evolve, the physical aspect is very important, but technology also has to make rapid progress. Once the mutated beasts grow up enough, the Earth will definitely not be satisfied. Only technology can break through all of this. 133 beast gods. It should be the classification of all the races in the department. I promise this condition. A minute later, eBay said in a deep voice, "The cold light flashes in my eyes. If it's 50%, it's better to get these technologies first. As for the content of the transaction, when the time comes when your mutant beasts are strong enough, you still have to consider whether to fulfill it." Rumble. However, when eBay's voice fell, the huge stone statues in front of him again rang loudly. Rumble. In the ruins, huge rumblings continued. And outside the ruins, the lost tribesmen. All eyes were about to come out. "Grandpa, what is going on?" "Patriarch, something seems to have happened." The beast is resurrected?" "No, it is a manifestation." "Beast bless us." Kneeling on the ground on one knee, these humans kept making this sound, because, right in front of them, the 9 huge keystone statues shook violently, and the stones on it made a loud rumbling sound. Wow! Then, a lot of rocks fell from their bodies. All the lost tribesmen can see clearly. Inside that huge stone statue, 9 huge beast gods with different heads were sealed with transparent glass. Eyes are closed tightly at each end. But because of the endless years of spreading, some yellow rust appeared on the glass, and the bodies of the beast god inside were even more dry, as if they would be turned into ashes as long as they were touched with a finger. But the outline alone is enough to inspire the lost tribesmen. Among the ruins, the situation is exactly the same as outside. After the beast god finished speaking, all the power of the spirit orb was released, and then all the power inside was immediately consumed. Then, the huge stone statue began to collapse. Click, click. Wow. Rumble. Under the realm of spiritual power, eBay could see clearly. These 124 huge stone statues, the stones on the body, cracked quickly, clicked, clicked, and soon, those stones fell off. Falling on the ground, the sound of crashing and rumbling continued. Of course, what attracted eBay's attention even more was, after these stone statues were split, each stone statue contained a transparent glass object. It's like a coffin. But the first feeling for eBay was with an unprecedented sci-fi color. In the glass, there is a mysterious silver-white light, which fully illuminates the situation inside. In every glass, there is a huge creature. These creatures come of any type, with hideous faces and terrible faces. If they are correct, they are members of the so-called sacred beast civilization, and can get the chance of resurrection. eBay almost didn't need to think about it, and immediately knew that the identities of the beast gods in these coffins were definitely not simple. 1. 100. 124. When all the stone statues were turned on, and the beast gods of different races and different appearances appeared in front of Yibei. Yibei's eyes all lit up. It was incredible and incredible. Just. Yibei was all excited at the moment. Chi. The letter was spit out immediately. System, if I eat all these beast gods, will I get genes and evolution points? 124 ancient creatures. I get excited just thinking about it. Of course you can. However, the host has to break the crystal coffin of this special material. The system answers immediately. Okay. Yibei's body trembled a little. Want to open the crystal coffin? Is this glass material very hard? Who? After thinking of this, Yibei didn't hesitate at all. He immediately waved his huge body and drew it toward the nearest coffin. Booming. Wow. A huge voice resounded in the ruins. Yibei used 180T of power this time. Logically speaking, a small mountain would instantly become fragments. However, the coffin was only flew out by Yibei and fell on the ground rumblingly. On the surface, the beast god inside was not damaged at all. What material is this? It's so powerful. Spit out Shinzi, Yibei asked curiously. The system did not answer him. However, among the 124 beast gods, light burst out again. The first projection of the beast god appeared again. In order to protect our people, we chose the most special metal as the protective cabin. To open this protective cabin, the only way is to let the people of our beast god clan open it. Outside the ruins, there are the 7 statues of beasts. Their protective capsules are different from ours. As long as they learn 50% of our technology, they can be opened. No matter what intelligent life you are, I hope to take this cooperation seriously. I believe that our civilization and technology will give you the greatest return. As for the content of the technology, all are in this storage. Since you can open the ruins, I think it won't be difficult for you to crack these technologies. The beast god's voice was hoarse and low. Wow. When speaking, the ground not far in front of Yibei cracked and made a rattling noise. Then a square, in a vacuum environment, very well-preserved black metal appeared in sight. However, Yibei didn't have much heartbeat when he saw this thing. Damn, guys. If I can swallow it directly, I will definitely become stronger in an instant, and it's possible to evolve into a dragon. Yibei squinted his eyes and cursed in a low voice. He didn't respond to the beast god. After all, he knew very well that if he let himself communicate with a voice that had been recorded hundreds of millions of years ago, he would appear mentally retarded. Unhappy and unhappy. In short, Yibei's harvest this time was unprecedented. Now that these coffins cannot be opened, it does not mean that they cannot be opened in the future. After I continue to evolve, I may be able to easily smash these things into pieces. Chi. After thinking of this, a distorted space appeared directly in front of Yibei. In less than a minute, the ruins, including the square metal, and 124 coffins, were all taken into the death forest by Yibei. These things are the safest when placed in the dead forest. After putting these things in, Yibei didn't take care of the keys outside the ruins for the time being. Chi. In the next moment, his own body was slowly sucked in by the twisted space. Now that you have entered this ruin, taking this opportunity to complete the first stage of evolution of the Titan Python is the most critical. Evolving in the death forest can guarantee 100% safety. Just when Yibei's body entered the death forest, the sight in front of him directly stunned him. The vines of those asterisk giant trees and the coffin are undergoing weird changes. In the death forest, there are spirit beads, and the whole forest, under the light of spirit beads, looks white. Wow. When the 124 coffins were transported to the death forest by Yibei, without Yibei's control, all the big trees seemed to have come alive, and huge vines continued to explode from their bodies. The sound of crashing. Then, in less than a minute, all 124 coffins were entangled by the vines of the asterisk big tree. The package is strong, like rice dumplings. As for the spirit orbs that were collected before, they are naturally connected to these coffins. When they are wrapped, there are at least dozens of spiritual beads floating on top of each coffin rice dumplings, a masterpiece of silver-white light. At first glance, it looks like a lantern. But such a situation, in Yi Bei's eyes, was very strange. Forget it. Don't care about it. After this evolution is complete, let the mutant monkeys try to see if they can crack the storage of this beast god civilization. If you can really get the technology inside, it won't take long. The whole world will belong to our strange beast system. Start the first stage of evolution of the Titan python. Chi-Chi. Yi Bei spit out the letter. When I said this, my eyes were all cold. Perhaps he was betrayed by one of his closest relatives. Perhaps he faced human slaughter repeatedly. Perhaps he saw the ugliest side of human beings at this time. His Yi Bei mentality had already happened unconsciously, made a huge change. He even began to claim that he was a clan of alien beasts, and deep down in his heart, he even had the idea of ruling the entire world and destroying mankind. Yes, host. The system answers. Wow. When the sound fell, there were a large number of tree vines under the control of Yi Bei's mental power, and they automatically stretched out, and the sound of clattering continued. Finally, those tree vines, all wrapped up Yi Bei, became the safest shield. As evolution begins, Yi Bei's body fell into that strange feeling again. Consciousness is very clear. The body can't move. In the process of evolution, you can even clearly feel that the genetic chains in your body are breaking and reorganizing. Such a situation is extremely strange, but there is another kind of unspeakable refreshment. One day passed. The number of molting on the body reached 10 times. The skin that was originally grayish-brown, at this moment, all became black, and the surface of the skin, layer by layer of texture, there are many things that reflect light like scales. 3 days later, on Yi Bei's body, the bone spurs that were originally raised began the most direct change. The bone spurs are all concentrated on the back. Normally, the bone spurs are in a peaceful state. At first glance, it looks like there are many black hairs growing on his back. However, after the evolution was completed, Yi Bei felt that as long as he moved, all the bone spurs on his spine would be upside down instantly, so sharp that any creature could easily pierce it. And in terms of appearance, it looks very much like the thing on the back of a dragon. The 7th day. The number of peelings reached 70 times, according to the probability of 10 times a day. The body length has increased a lot, but the diameter of the body did not continue to increase. This evolution made Yi Bei's body look more even, with a perfect feeling. 10th day. The number of peelings reached 100. Strength, speed, and even eyesight and hearing have all improved. Wow! It was also on this day that Yi Bei, who had been wrapped in the vines, suddenly found that his body had regained his intuition, and his huge body made a clattering sound with a slight movement. The sturdy tree vines, under the slight movement of Yi Bei, were like tofu, all disconnected, and the noise continued. Congratulations to the host for successfully completing the first stage of the evolution of the Titan python. There will be 6 more evolutions. As long as it can be completed, it will move to a higher level of species, the swallowing python. The vines are shattered. The voice of the system immediately resounded in Yi Bei's mind. At this moment, Yi Bei felt a majestic explosive power in his body. These asterisk giant trees in the death forest could all be destroyed as long as he was willing, with a little effort, and within 10 minutes. This terrifying power couldn't help but make Yi Bei look forward to the sky-swallowing python even more. It's only the first stage of evolution of the Titan python, and it has already left here. If you really become the giant swallowing python, wouldn't it be able to swallow the sky? Very good. System, let me look at the current body data. Yi Bei said calmly. After evolving from a small young snake so many times, Yi Bei has already calmed down a lot. If it weren't for the evolution across races, it wouldn't necessarily make him have too much trouble. The sound fell, and the magical screen appeared again in front of Yi Bei's eyes. Name, Yi Bei. Intermediate species, Titan python, ancient creature, legendary existence. Age, 1 year old. Lifespan, 1,000 years. The number of genes in the second stage of Titan python evolution, 100/2000, The whole stage is 7, and the current host has completed 1. Evolution points 80,000/1000000. Evolution points increase body size and major body data. No longer provide species evolution. Level LV3. After leveling up, genes can be changed to move towards a higher level of snake-like species. Language biological common language. Abilities full fangs, fire breathing, free movement underwater, enhanced 2 times. Spines, ability grant. Apostle 5, use number 3, namely Wong 1, Golden Lion, Blood Moon. Treasure, Chinkuan bag, with a usable area of 20 square kilometers. Territory, 30 kilometers in diameter, centered on the location of the host. The spiritual power coverage is all territories. Length, 180 meters. Average body diameter. Body resistance to stress, level 100. It can withstand the simultaneous explosion of 500 rockets without any damage. Speed, 100 m/section. Strength, 200 t. 200 t weight can be lifted easily. Weight, 280 tons. Blood value, 100 out of 100. Body damage value, 100 out of 100. Mental strength, 100 out of 100. Prizes, 5 silver treasure chests. Task 1. The number of snakes grows to 10,000. The task reward, the number of evolution genes plus 100. Task 2. Rescue the female snake. Task reward, the number of evolution genes plus 200. After reading this information, Yi-Bei was overjoyed. This evolution did not disappoint him. Many data have been greatly improved. The information panel projected by the system is closed, but many of the data in it were deeply engraved in Yi-Bei's mind. What surprised Yi-Bei most was, this evolution has directly doubled one's lifespan, from 500 years to 1,000 years. The change in this number alone is shocking enough, because this directly shows that even if he will not do anything next, he will find a safe place and hunt for food enough to maintain the normal operation of the body every once in a while. He will be able to live for 1,000 years. Lifespan. This is what any life looks at. And this evolution also brought Yi-Bei's mental strength back to its peak. In addition, there is one missing mission. The genetic points above should be the 100 points awarded for completing the first stage of the evolution of the Titan Python. As for the changes in body length and strength, Yi-Bei didn't care much. After all, this kind of change, ordinary evolution point improvement, can also be used to increase it. After the analysis, Yi-Bei's first thing was to try his current body, how powerful it is. The asterisk plants in the dead forest are not threatening to him. Chi-Chi. Then in front of Yi-Bei, the distorted space appeared again. In just an instant, Yi-Bei's body was all sucked in. At the same time, on the Lost Island, those lost tribesmen have always been at the entrance of the ruins. Patriarch, it's been 7 days. Why haven't the snake gods come out yet? A man with violent muscles said to the patriarch nervously, with worry in his eyes. Yeah, Grandpa, shall we go and see? Dee couldn't help it anymore. On the contrary, the patriarch, sitting on the ground, closed his eyes, looked as stable as Mount Tai, but his heart was also very anxious, but he did not show it. You young people just can't keep your breath. It's only 7 days. Our lost race has been waiting for thousands of years. Do you care about these few days? Also, there are many beast gods on the island now. With them, isn't it the same? The voice is deep and deep. When everyone heard this, they looked at the entrance and immediately stopped talking. Beast god, you must come out. The fate of our lost race is on you. Come out soon. The patriarch still closed his eyes. However, no one would have thought that in the depths of his heart, he kept repeating such a passage. Chi-Chi. Just when the people of the lost race were full of endless expectations, the space at the entrance to the ruins was directly distorted. The space is distorted. This must be the method of the beast god. Amazing. Everyone, kneel down. Plop, plop. Each of these people's eyes lit up, and after recovering, they all thumped and knelt on the ground. In the next scene, these humans were not disappointed either. Only Yibei's body appeared out of thin air directly from the distorted space. Such a method made this lost tribe believe in him even more firmly. Snake God. Welcome to the return of the Beast God. Beast God. Beast God bless. It was Yibei, and then found that the current Yibei was different from before entering the ruins. The body became larger, and the skin on the surface of the body also changed, becoming pitch black. Their bodies shuddered and immediately began to knock their heads. Okay. Yibei, who had just returned, found himself outside the ruins. After seeing these human beings and the 9 coffins outside the ruins, the first thing was a movement of mind, and all the coffins were received inside the death forest. Wow, it is also magical. The moment the coffin that served as the key was put away by Yibei, the cracked mountain behind made a clatter again, and the originally cracked passage more than 10 meters wide was directly closed. But all the things in the ruins have been obtained, and Yibei doesn't care about this change. Only then did his gaze fall on these humans. At the same time, the huge mental power enveloped the surrounding. A large amount of mental power madly spread toward these human minds. Surrender to the Beast God. Even if the Beast Gods let us die, we can't hesitate. The Beast is everything. Believe in animal gods. In the spirits of these lost tribesmen, they all have such voices, and they have no defense against Yibei. Yibei's mental power is completely unimpeded. After confirming the situation, Yibei's eyes narrowed slightly. These humans are more loyal to themselves than some mutant beasts. Believe in this thing. It is really a magic thing. No wonder some ex-teachers are so crazy. Very well, these days, you have been here forever. I have completed all the investigations of the ruins, and will seal them again from today. You are good at guarding, and I will reward you now. Chi-Chi. Yibei spit out Shinzi, his voice cold. Since these human beings all believe in themselves extremely, if they are eaten, it would be a huge waste. If they are allowed to be traitors in the future, that is the best way. Thank you for the Beast God's reward. Yes, Beast God. Thanks, Beast God. Hearing that Yibei was about to give a reward, everyone of the lost race knelt on the ground, their bodies trembling slightly, and their faces were gratitude. System, give them the finished evolving potion. Yibei said to the system directly in his mind.
Yes.
When the system answered, more than 260 light green rays appeared directly out of thin air, and in the next moment, they got in from the breath of these lost tribesmen. The finished evolving potion has an effect on the beasts. Although humans call themselves advanced creatures, their essence is the same. When the finished medicine was absorbed by these lost tribesmen, their bodies were taken aback on the spot, and the improvement of their wisdom was the most direct way to express their eyes brighter and brighter. Although the clothes he wears are very ashamed, but the temperament, the look in their eyes, all changed, and the feeling for Yibei was that they became extremely wise in an instant. I improved your IQ just now. You will have unparalleled speed in learning any knowledge. Next, I will send you some information, and you will all remember it. Chi-Chi. Yibei spit out Shinzi and continued. Hoo. After the voice fell, the huge mental power spread out wildly again. Everyone in the lost race has their eyes widened. Hoo-hoo. The sea breeze kept blowing. The surrounding trees screamed. In front of a big mountain, a large group of humans who covered key parts with simple leaves. Their eyes were almost staring. Yibei's huge body occupies right in front of these human beings. With the spread of mental power hidden in Yibei's mind, the memories of a part of modern society quickly passed to the minds of these lost tribesmen. What is this? Dee stared. According to the memory passed by Yibei, in her mind, a metropolis built of steel and cement appeared directly in her mind. All kinds of men and women, holding them in her hands. She had never seen them before. He is wearing a beautiful and luxurious clothes, walking down the street with a smile on his face. Beast God. Is this the world of the Beast God? A lost race man, looking dull, in his mind. A large group of men are holding shotguns, hunting down their prey. Just pull the trigger slightly, and with a bang, No matter how fierce the prey is, it will die instantly. In this case, it directly made him stunned. Although his physical fitness is strong enough to walk fast, but when he encounters a beast, he has to look for an opportunity to make a move. He has even seen many tribesmen and died in the blood of the beast. Under the pot mouth. It's a magnificent, completely different world. And it's all human beings, after all. The muscles on the patriarch's face were trembling, and the message from Yi Bei had an unprecedented impact on him. Civilization, politicians, various gatherings, speeches, and leaders' interviews were spectacular scenes. With the continuous fluctuation of mental power, the shock on the faces of these lost tribes is increasing, but the wisdom in their eyes is constantly improving. Even some female tribesmen, after obtaining this knowledge, their breathing became rapid, and their faces started to become slightly red and hot. There was a feeling of shame, and they started to protect key parts with their hands. The human civilization passed by Yi Bei has brought the most primitive inspiration to the lost people. 10 minutes later, when Yi Bei passed on to these human beings all the current human situation in his memory, seeing what they are now, knowing that they have received all the information they have transmitted, what I just showed you is the life of the humans outside this island. However, for their own desires, they betrayed the beast god and gave up their beliefs. Fortunately, you still exist. I want you to best fast and familiar with that way of life. When the time comes, I will personally send you to the world inhabited by humans to help the beast god grow stronger and rule this world. Chi-Chi. Yi Bei spit a scarlet letter. When I said this, the voice was not very loud. It's just that after this sentence was finished, he always felt a strong middle-two aura in his heart. But these lost tribesmen didn't notice it at all. After listening, all of them were angry. Damn it! Don't those humans forget their mission? Yes, forget your faith. Sooner or later they will regret it. The sad human beings don't realize how fragile they are. If there is no protection from the beast god, they are nothing, and they dare to betray the beast god. The lost tribesmen said one after another. Hearing these voices, Yi Bei always felt a little funny. Okay, the information has been told to you. The next time, you are free to move. When you are almost done, I will worry you again and send you to the human world. Yi Bei interrupted the lost people.
Yes.
Yes, beast god. Yes, snake god. Everyone answered, but out of awe of Yi Bei, they still knelt on one knee and did not dare to leave. Zizi. It was Yi Bei who gave these people finished evolution potions and used mental power to convey some of the human world conditions to them. The huge body slowly moved, and when it rubbed against the ground, it made a screaming sound, quickly go away. Until Yi Bei completely disappeared from the sight of these humans, the patriarch took the lead and stood up first. From today, everyone in our lost race is listening. Our life belongs to the beast god, and it will always be. No one is allowed to think carefully. Once discovered, kill it. The voice was hoarse and full of majesty. Grandpa, shall we go get some clothes to put on? This is too shameful. D lowered his head and covered the vital parts with his hands. His voice was like a mosquito. In fact, using leaves to cover key parts has always been the case for the lost tribesmen. But today, with the improvement of wisdom and the acquisition of relic information, it is absolutely undesirable for them to know that primitive behavior. Yes, patriarch. Everything we have today is given by the beast god. If it weren't for him, we would have no idea that there are other magical worlds. As long as I am still alive, I will certainly eradicate all heretics for the beast god. Get rid of heresy. Get rid of heresy. The voice is loud and powerful. Very well. Remember the task given to us by the beast gods. Everyone has to think about it these days. And now we can disperse, find something suitable, and protect your body. The patriarch said. Wow. Then, at this moment, all the lost tribesmen clashed. Zzz. After leaving the ruins, Yi Bei did not show all his speed. On the contrary, he moved very slowly. It's like a human being taking a leisurely walk. The Lost Island has such a large area on the sea. It stands to reason that humans have discovered something for a long time, but I have not seen any traces of civilization here. Could it be that this island is isolated from the world and has a natural magnetic field that cannot be detected? Only in this way can the 9 huge statues of beast gods be perfectly preserved. Chi-Chi. As he walked, Yibei was still analyzing it seriously. If this is the case, the Lost Island is definitely a very good base. It would be more appropriate to develop here as the root of the rise of the alien orcs. The voice murmured. The scarlet letter continued to spit out. When talking about this, Yibei's eyes were extremely determined, and it was absolutely imperative to build the Lost Island. But after Yibei wondered how to transform this place, he suddenly narrowed his eyes. A cold light flashed in his eyes. The field of mental power spreads out. 15 kilometers away, Yibei clearly felt that around the group of mutant sharks that were still alive, humans appeared. Wow! In the depths of the sea, submarines are moving fast, and the power unit is stirring the sea, making noises constantly. 15 nautical miles from the Lost Island. The 9 mutant sharks have been wandering around here all the time, and now they eat their food, but they dare not go this distance for a moment. After seeing Yibei's strength, they no longer have any idea of betrayal. But when they sensed that more than a dozen submarines were swimming towards them, they did not move. The reason is very simple. Following the Shark King, these mutant sharks have never dealt with humans less. Instinctively tells them that as long as they don't provoke those submarines, they don't have to do anything, and those submarines won't hurt themselves. Bang bang. After the submarines surrounded the 9 mutant sharks, all the searchlights in front were turned on. The dazzling light all fell on the sharks. In each submarine, there are 2 people sitting. After the sharks were shot out by searchlights and radar, the humans in the submarine quickly passed through the headset and reported the situation to the headquarters. Report to the headquarters. After the confirmation, only 9 mutant sharks are still alive. Reporting to the headquarters, these sharks did not detect any high-energy carriers, and they did not find what we wanted. Reporting to the headquarters, there is no trace of any other sharks, and all the trackers have disappeared. Report to headquarters, these sharks are all normal. Sahara Desert, underground base. Tony sat in the research room with a big screen in front of him. Through the exclusive satellite, he could receive the situation on the Atlantic side for the first time. At the same time, all the voices reported by those people naturally reached his ears. Impossible. With so many mutant sharks, their combat effectiveness is all strong. Even if they encounter a mutant giant whale, they still have a chance to escape. How could there be only 9 remaining? Give me Sirius and cultivate this. A mutant shark of needs at least $100 million US. Tony shouted at the big screen.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
After hearing the sound, the pilots of the more than 10 submarines trembled, and then their voices replied very firmly, and then they continued to investigate the sharks. Lost on the island. Although Yibei could not know about the Sahara Desert, he could probably analyze something through the calls in these submarines. In addition, what made Yibei even more amazed? Under the observation of the mental power domain, there is no lost island in the scanners of these submarines. All the surrounding areas shown above are boundless sea areas. At this point, it directly proved Yibei's conjecture before. If it's not wrong, when the beast civilization left the ruins here, it also had a certain backhand, and through some special methods, it made it look like just a sea area. As for Yibei and the mutant sharks, they simply broke in by mistake. No matter what force it is, if it is here, just stay. It happens that there are many humans on the Lost Island. These submarines are one of the best tools to help them travel to the human world. Yibei squinted his eyes. The body is entrenched on the Lost Island, but the mental power is constantly strengthening. After thinking of this, right now, Yibei's voice unceremoniously passed through the power of the domain towards the mutant sharks. Sharks! It's me, your king. Listen, all in front of you are human submarines. No matter what means you use, you must delay them. Deep under the sea, the 9 mutant sharks remained motionless when they were illuminated by the searchlight. But after Yibei's voice suddenly rang in their minds, their bodies were all startled suddenly. Wow! Then, This huge body continued to spin around in place, making various strange movements to attract the attention of the humans in these submarines. Report to the headquarters, these mutant sharks are acting strange. Report to the headquarters, there is now. Sure enough, the pilots inside these submarines were all excited after seeing the sharks' abnormal situation. At the same time, Chi-Chi, on Lost Island, Yi-Bei's movement speed suddenly accelerated. The contraction of body muscles reaches the extreme. Whoosh whoosh. Wow. In just an instant, the degree of 100 meters per second appeared, and the body rubbed against the air, making a swish sound. Some branches in front of them were even shattered and shattered. Less than 10 minutes later, Yi-Bei, who was still on the Lost Island, was already less than 1 kilometer away from where the sharks were. At this moment, the humans in the submarine suddenly realized that there were new creatures rushing over in the radar. What is that? Buy it. Snake? Python? Why did it suddenly appear when there was no one just now? Everyone, have you seen it, Python? Giant python. When he first entered the sea, Yi-Bei directly used the method of hiding his breath and adding mental power to successfully evade the radar. But within a distance of 1 kilometer, he confirmed that these humans had no chance to escape. The breath is released and the mental power is reduced, so it will be scanned by the radar. Humans, welcome to the underwater world. Old rules, answer my question. Maybe you can live, but anyone who resists will surely die. Chi-Chi. After his body was exposed, Yi-Bei was not sloppy, spitting scarlet letters and strange voices directly in the minds of these humans. After hearing these voices, all humans driving submarines had eyeballs at this moment. Stared out. As one of the insiders of the Sahara Desert base, mutant beasts, mutant sharks, and their bodies are related to plants, and they also know some things. But the voice of a python, ignoring the medium, resounded in his mind, which was definitely beyond their expectation. Headquarters. Report to the headquarters. We have a big picture. God. Headquarters, you won't believe it. What we have discovered. It's incredible. Talking python. God. How is this possible? Yi-Bei's voice fell, and these humans were stunned for a long time. But when they reacted, it was not fear, but unexpected by Yi-Bei. Each of them shouted at the communication device with unprecedented excitement on their faces. He didn't even notice that the communication device had failed the moment Yi-Bei appeared. Damn idiots. It seems that I haven't figured out the situation. Chi-Chi. A cold light flashed in Yi-Bei's eyes. The majestic killing intent rushed out of the body frantically. In the deep sea, Yi-Bei's body was entrenched peacefully. But that majestic, murderous release. In the submarine driver's cabin, all human beings felt their bodies chill, an unpleasant sensation spreading from the top of the scalp to the whole body, and even their breathing became extremely rapid at this moment. The breath of death. Yes, at this moment, they all felt an unprecedented breath of death. Whoosh. In the next moment that leaf moved north. The body turned into a shadow directly under the shooting of the radar and sonar detectors of these submarines. In the blink of an eye, the huge body appeared in the middle of the shark group, across the special glass of the submarine, under the shining of the searchlight. The outline of the entire body this time all appeared in the naked eyes of these humans. It was detected by sonar radar just now. That kind of detection is completely different from what the naked eye sees. This is an extremely huge python. The length of the body reached 180 meters, and the diameter was more than 3 meters. The whole body is pitch black. In addition, those eyes, under the illumination of the searchlights, still reflected the cold light, terrifying to the extreme. The most frightening thing is that this python is floating peacefully in the sea at this moment, with a 180-meter-long body twisted together, and the scarlet letters spit out from time to time. And that line of sight seems to be watching these humans. In addition, the mutant sharks, after seeing the giant python appearing next to them, all stopped and had no other reaction. Answer my question or die. Chi-Chi. After appearing, Yi-Bei spit out Shinzi and said at the scene. Who? However, when he was speaking, his body moved again, and the huge tail swept fiercely in the sea with a whistle. Booming. In the next moment, the tail directly hit a submarine with tragic luck, and the rumbling explosion resounded deep in the sea. In the blink of an eye, the submarine was directly detonated, and there was a rumbling sound in the sea. The two drivers inside had no chance to react and instantly became dead bodies. The submarine exploded. The humans in the submarines that were originally left have reacted. The excitement disappeared. Instead of fear, shock. The big drops of sweat on his forehead continued to drip. But at this time, Yibei had no plans to stop. Although the submarine exploded, there were still 2 human corpses in it. For Yibei, that thing was evolutionary points. How could it be wasted casually? Wow. The body moved slightly. The fragments that exploded the submarine were scattered. Chi. Then, the scarlet letter sticks out. Click, click. Golyulu easily involved 2 humans in their mouths, and then their mouths closed one by one. Even through the thick, waterproof device of the submarine, these human beings who are still alive can deeply feel that the python is devouring the human voice in front of them. Sea monster. Monster. This is definitely a monster. Fire. Everyone fires, shoots fish, kills him. Call the headquarters. Shieta. What's the matter? Why is there no signal? I can't contact the headquarters at all. After the fear, these humans came back to their senses again. However, relying on the large number of submarines, these humans didn't know where the courage came from, and the words came out of their mouths as if they had lost one. For them, the violations caused did not seem to be great. Whoosh whoosh. Even 2 of the submarines fired torpedoes directly at Yibei. 2 pitch-black cannonballs rushed out from the mouth of the shooter, rushing towards Yibei with a whizzing sound. Humans who live and die. Seeing this scene, Yibei's murderous aura kept boiling. Roar. There was a roar in his mouth. Chi. Mouth opened. Then a huge fireball suddenly appeared in Yibei's mouth. The moment they saw the fireball, these excited submarine pilots finally calmed down. Sitting in the cockpit, looking out through the glass, their gazes changed from fear and anger to dullness. A huge python appeared in the sea. Just use the tail to destroy the submarine? Well, the above is still slightly acceptable. But now, this python is deep in the sea. Open its mouth, and there is a fireball inside? What are you kidding? Am I dreaming? God, wake up quickly. Selling karma. Is this to breathe fire? Dragon. This is a dragon. Only a dragon can breathe fire. His face was dull, and when these voices came out of his mouth, he murmured constantly. Wow. As for Yibei, it was not wordy at all. In the blink of an eye, the flames in his mouth burst out fiercely. Laugh. The huge, hot flames swallowed the 2 shot fish in an instant, and then rushed in the direction of the 2 submarines. The moment they hit, the 2 submarines were directly in the depths of the sea, melted into molten iron. The drivers inside were burnt to powder, leaving nothing. Don't provoke my patience anymore. Now, what do I ask? What do you answer? A disagreement, destroyed 3 submarines, eaten 2 humans, and showed incredible abilities. When this sentence was said, the remaining submarines finally settled down. The pilots inside were all stunned, not even daring to let out the atmosphere. Let's talk. Who arranged you to come? Chi. Yibei spit out the letter. When speaking, through the field of mental power, the voice directly resounded in the minds of these humans. And that powerful mental power directly penetrated their heads and affected them. Yes, it's Tony. Under the pressure of fear and strong mental power, a female driver turned pale. After Yibei's voice appeared in her mind, she answered almost instinctively. Tony? The address and your identities. Yibei continued to ask, probably already having a judgment in his heart. We all belong to the Sahara Desert Research Institute, but we don't know the exact address. The location of the headquarters is top secret. We are mainly responsible for external tasks, such as managing these mutant sharks. Someone said, the Sahara Desert? After hearing this, Yibei's eyes flashed brightly. The tracker I got from the computer on the experimental island had a red dot on it, and it was in the Sahara Desert. Then, according to the current situation, is it Tony who spawned missiles on the experimental island and mercenary base? Chi-Chi. Thinking of this, eBay spit out the letter and spoke again. Since you are all sent by Tony then, contact him now. eBay's voice was cold. Although he cannot transmit his own voice far away through communication devices so that humans can understand what he means. But don't forget, there are still many humans here now. When the time comes, pass the voice to the pilots of these submarines and let them pass their own words. Isn't that enough? Contact Tony? Among the remaining submarines, all the pilots are all in a daze. But eBay's powerful mental power had too much influence on them. Soon, someone began to dial the communication device, and at this moment, eBay also came into contact with the restrictions on communication. Toot. Just connected. Before that person spoke, an angry growl came from the communicator. What's the matter with you? Why did you lose all the targets just now? Damn, tell me what happened. The voice was Tony's impressively. Who? The person who switched on the communication device was a white man with a burly figure, but now his body was trembling constantly, fearing to the extreme. After hearing Tony's voice, his teeth trembled, and he instinctively began to speak. Report to the headquarters, we. But before he finished speaking, he was interrupted by eBay. If you don't want to die, shut up now. eBay's voice was cold. As soon as this sentence fell, those humans who wanted to transmit information through communication devices stopped immediately. They knew very well that the giant python in front of them was definitely not joking. Hey, talk, what the is going on? You are all dumb? Report immediately. Tony's voice is still coming. Tell him, Thomas is still alive. No matter where Tony hides, one day he will pay a huge price for it. eBay's voice was very calm. Inside the submarine, the humans didn't understand eBay's meaning at all. But at this moment, they did not dare to hesitate for a while. One of them had teeth trembling up and down. Report to the headquarters. There is a creature, let us tell Tony. Thomas is still alive. No matter where Tony hides, one day he will do it. This pays a huge price. Wow. This human being finished. Through the mental power domain, eBay could clearly hear, and on the other side, there was a crisp sound. Who told you? Immediately pass back the photos of the scene. Now, right now. 3 seconds later, there was a hysterical roar from the communication device, and there was an unprecedented fear in that voice. Chi-Chi. Only in the next moment, communication was cut off again. eBay has already said what to say. The next thing is how to deal with these submarines. Sharks, you are still around here. Don't leave too far. eBay first said to the mutant sharks, and then began to say to the humans in the submarine, as for you, if you don't want to die now, driving the submarine, following behind me. The voice was extremely cold. Those drivers who have been scared a long time ago, how dare to say a word?
Yes.
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 They nodded and answered. Even torpedoes can shoot and fly at will. Their huge body can detonate the submarine with just one move. This kind of strength makes them unable to lift any resistance. Whoosh whoosh. eBay's speed was not very fast, and he always kept a certain distance from the submarine. 10 minutes later, the pilots in the submarine stared again. How is this possible? I seem to have seen the island. Obviously nothing is displayed on the sonar radar. Really an island? Could it be that this giant python is the creature on this island? It's incredible. Such words came out of these human mouths unconsciously. Wow. However, eBay didn't pay attention to them, and his body rose quickly. Wow. Those submarines did not dare to delay and followed closely behind. Finally, 5 minutes later, the remaining 11 submarines all surfaced. Only when they got out of the water, the faces of the drivers inside were as pale as paper. These are all pythons? God, what are they? It must be a dream, absolutely. In my sight, there is a huge beach. But on the beach, there are densely packed reticulated pythons, each of which is more than 10 meters long, and the number is over 1,000. In addition, there are a large number of mutant beasts here, walking back and forth around the beach. When seeing such a scene through the submarine's glass, the worldviews of these pilots were completely overturned. Humans, I am very happy to come to the Lost Island. From now on, you are captured by me. Chi-Chi. When these humans were shocked to the extreme, eBay spit out scarlet letters and said in a cold voice, "Zizi. Hula la." Then, the reticulated pythons on the beach were all touched at the same moment. The huge body made a sizzling sound when it moved on the beach. After entering the sea, it made the sound of sea water. Where have the pilots in the submarine seen such a scene? All of them were stupid in an instant. Obviously, they are all specially trained talents with extremely strong willpower. However, in the face of this posture, some drivers urinate directly when sitting in their chairs. Wow! The mutant reticulated python is dispatched. Less than 5 minutes. All the 11 submarines were pushed onto the beach, and then the reticulated pythons retreated and surrounded the submarines. Zizi. At this time, eBay moved in the direction of the submarine. Now that you are all safe, you can get out of the submarine. If you want to live, you have to pay a certain price. As long as you complete the things I will give you next, you can live. The body length is 180 meters. Complete the first stage of evolution of the Titan python and once again strengthened its body several times. Chi-Chi spit out the letter. When saying this, the surrounding mutant beasts looked at eBay. Many of their bodies were trembling. As for the humans in the submarines, their situation can be imagined. His complexion was pale. The body shivered involuntarily. After hearing eBay's command, he crawled and opened the submarine's hatch. He crawled out of the submarine at the fastest speed, fearing that if he moved slowly, he would be killed immediately.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.